Hello everyone, my name is Jared, and today I will be showing you how to link RStudio and Github. This tutorial is going to assume that you have already downloaded and installed both R and RStudio. So if you have not done that, please see the description for video links on how to install both R and RStudio. Alright, let's get into it. So the first step in linking GitHub and RStudio is going to be to create a GitHub account. All of these links will be in the description below as well. So we'll first visit GitHub's homepage, and you should be presented with this screen here. It's going to ask for a username, email, and password. So if you don't already have a GitHub account, right now is the great time to create one. So let's create a GitHub account together. So I'll type in my username. I'll type in Jarrod Griffin Cal Poly. In my email, I will use my school email. And then it's going to ask for a password as well. So just make sure it meets the minimum requirements specified here. And then just click Sign Up for GitHub. It may ask you to verify your account some way. Here it's going to be a puzzle. All right, then you want to uncheck email preferences. That is up to you. I'm going to uncheck it. And then click Join a Free Plan. All right, it's going to ask you some questions about where you work. So I'm a student. I have a moderate amount of programming experience. I want to use GitHub to learn Git and GitHub. And I'm not going to specify anything for what I'm interested in. All right, it will ask you to verify your email address. So go ahead and do that, and then come back. All right, so my email address has now been verified. Now what we would like to do is create a GitHub project or repository. So if you go to the GitHub homepage, you will be presented with a screen similar to this. And notice in the upper left, it has this green button where it says Create Repository. So we'll click that. And it's going to ask who the owner is. That's going to be us. And your repository name, which is essentially the project name. I'm just going to call it test because it is a test of RStudio and GitHub. And I'll put a description as test as well. Here you can also set your project as either public or private. So I'm going to set it to public for now. And you can choose to initialize your repository with some other types of files, such as a README file, but we are going to ignore those for now. So I'll click Create Repository. And you should be presented with this page. And this is actually our project or repository. So what we'll want to do is highlight this link here, the one that ends in .git, highlight it and copy the link. And we'll be using that in a little bit. The next step is going to be to download Git. So I'll visit this link. And then I should be given the download page for Git. Since I'm on Windows, I will click Windows. And I'm going to choose the Save the File. And once it is done downloading, I will open and run it. And we will be presented with the Git installation page. So I'm going to accept all of the default installation locations and file associations here. So I'm just going to click next and accept everything that pops up. And it will take a minute or two to install. And I'm going to uncheck View Release Notes and click Next to exit out of the installer. Now we want to start up RStudio. And I'm going to close this project I already had open. And I'm going to go to File, New Project, and then click Version Control because we are accessing our Git project. And because we're using Git, we will click Git. And it's going to ask for our repository URL, project directory name, and where you would like to create the project at. So I'm going to just name the directory test git. And for the repository URL, that's going to be the URL we copied earlier from this page. It needs to end in this .git. So I'm going to highlight this and copy it and paste it into my repository URL, and then click Create Project. And now we're presented with this new screen. And I want to create a R script here, just so we can try to push that to GitHub and make sure we are connected correctly. So I will go to File, New File, R script. I will just type test in here. I'm going to save this script. I will call it test script and save it. Now, in the lower right-hand corner of RStudio, you should have a .gitignore, a .r project file, and then a .r script file. So now what we can do is go to Tools, Version Control, and click Commit. This should present us with a screen like this. And we want to push or commit all three of these files. So what I'll do is click the little check mark next to each of them. And then make sure you include a commit message. It will not commit without this message. So usually you want to have them be pretty descriptive of all the different changes you've made, but here I'm just going to put test. So when I hit commit, we may get an error, so let's find out. We do not. If you do get an error here, you need to run two commands in Git. So I will show you those two commands right now. What you need to run are these two commands. So what you can do is open up your Windows menu and type in git space cmd and open this up. It should take you to a window like this, and you should be able to just copy and paste these two lines, but we'll do them one at a time. So you will replace email with your email that you used to create your GitHub account, and username, you can just replace it with your name. So here, let's try to run this. But first, let me change this to my email. So I'm just going to run one line at a time. All right, it accepted it. And we can do the same thing with our username. I'm just going to use my name. So we'll copy that, paste it into the git cmd or the command, press enter. And we are good. We get no errors. So now we can jump back into RStudio and go back to this commit page. And here we want to click this push button. So let's click it. And you should get a prompt prompting you to log in to GitHub. So here you will use your username or email and password that you use to create your GitHub account. So let's do that. It may take a second for everything to authenticate, but once you see this head arrow master, that means you have successfully published to GitHub. So we need to confirm that. So I'm going to close out of everything, or at least minimize it, and go back to our GitHub account and find our project. And I'm going to refresh it. And notice we now have our .gitignore, we have our R project file, and we have our test script. So just to confirm that changes have actually been made, I will click testscript.r, and there is our one line of code. So we have successfully pushed a change from from RStudio to GitHub. I will demonstrate this process of pushing a change again. So let's say I want to type in some code. Test is going to be hello, and we can print test. So this is a very simple program. But if I want to publish this to GitHub again, we will click Tools, Version Control, and then Commit. We will select the file we want to commit, which in this case is our script. You will see what we added or changed in green and what will be deleted in red. And now we need to add our commit message. In this case, I'm just going to say what I did. So we're going to print hello. We can click commit. Once we see this, we know it has been committed. We can click close. Committing just makes the changes official on your local computer. If we want to push it to GitHub or to the cloud essentially, we will click push. It will again take a second or two. Once we get this head arrow master, then we have successfully pushed it to GitHub. We can close out of everything and again confirm by refreshing this page that our changes are actually here. All right, thank you for watching.